Tonight, we are talking Beyond the Gates, Jurassic World Rebirth, all that and more. I am Brad Jost, and this is Let's Talk Jurassic. Maybe. Boom. Hit the wrong button. How about now? Welcome back, everybody, to another Let's Talk Jurassic. I changed my setup a little bit. Look at that. The camera's in a new place. Who would have thought? It's good to see. Anyway, it's been a little while. It feels like it's been months, maybe, but it's definitely only been just a week. I guess... No, so I guess this would be the second week. I don't know. How does time work? I have no idea. Anyway, welcome back to another Let's Talk Jurassic. This is your weekly live stream from the Jurassic Park Podcast. I got to remember how to hit buttons, where to look, how to read, how to work an iPad, how to work a microphone. I don't know. I'm figuring it all out on the fly. But if you are new here, welcome. This is the show that you get. Whatever this is what you get. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back here to the show. I always appreciate any returning viewers out there. And if you're lurking, what's up? I know you're there. Come say hi. But let's see who's here tonight. We got a fun night. Hopefully some stacked, chat rooms. And if you want to share this around, I've barely shared it around. So as always, I barely shared it around. Do the favor, go push it out there for everybody. Tell your friends, tell your family, everybody. But we've got Muzzamil here in the chat. What's up, Muzzamil? How you doing? We've got Godzilla Yip. Who else here loves Jurassic World Dominion? That'd be me. I love Jurassic World Dominion. Really like that movie a lot. So I'm with you. We also got Steven here. What's up, Steven? How you doing? Underwater Madness. How you doing? We got Nikolai here. How's it going? Let's see. Jurassic Souls in the house. Hey. I don't know why he was like, hey. That was weird. But Ninja Master Nick, I'm like feeling it tonight. We're going for it. It's going to be a weird one. I bet you. We got Caleb in the house. How's it going, Caleb? We've got Spino Rex. Just got the new HC figures in the mail today. Ooh, nice. What? Oh, yeah. Mine are coming. I think they might be here like tomorrow or so. Yeah, it was like Claire, Echo, I think. I didn't order Echo. I just ordered. It was like, forget that one. I don't care. And then the Pyroraptor. Yeah, that's right. Jurassic Souls. Thank you. As always, you're killing it. I think I gotta like move something. You know what? I should move like something around. Let's put this over here. Does that work? I don't know. That's not really a great spot for it. Trying to like reframe all of my stuff so I can like kind of look at the screen, but I kind of like it being on the side over here. I don't know what I just did, but anyway, I forgot I was supposed to be showcasing Jurassic Souls. What's going on? You said love the new Carno with the Kenner colors. Which Kenner Jurassic figure from JP or Lost World would you like to see get the updated treatment next? We'll talk about that. I think we'll talk about that in a little bit because I'm excited to talk about the latest from the Beyond the Gates. We got Jurassic KM here. How's it going, Jurassic KM? Good to see you. Move this around. Oh yeah, Mosmo, you dropped the Resort TV. Yes, absolutely. Go check that out, everybody. If you have not gotten to check that out, there's a lot of fun cast members in there. You've got Emmy, Jay, you've got Mozamil himself, you've got Dave, Cretaceous Dave is in there, myself, apparently, I'm in there, you might hear me, or my alter ego, I guess you could say, but definitely check that one out. What's up, Steve? You made it, you're here. Why am I'm like screaming today? I don't know, I'm just feeling it, I guess. He does not. Seriously, a shout out to Jurassic Souls. I gotta hand it to Jurassic Souls each and every week. I gotta get Jurassic Souls on this show one day. If you want to come on right now, just I don't know, hit me up. I don't know how you would do it. Just let me know in the chat. I'll put you on the show as we speak. Because yeah, the support is unreal. Jurassic Raptor, how's it going? Paleo Collector here. Jurassic Collections out there lurking. Thank you, first time. Glad to have you here, Jurassic Collections. That's awesome. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Let me go ahead and showcase a few things here before we get started. My iPad was drained. Oh wait, you know what I got to do? I got to turn the battery saver thing, whatever that is, because it keeps going to sleep. All right, so let's go over to the website for a second. I didn't put out an episode this week. I don't know if I got lazy, because I really want to talk Jurassic right now. That's the thing. As you can tell, I'm very excited to talk Jurassic right now. But I didn't put out an episode. So go back to July 16th, and that was not that long ago. Just go back to then. That's when the last episode was out. It was the Dino DNA episode with Connor and Tom, and they talked all about the Suchomimus and the Pachyrhinosaurus, two of the new species from Jurassic World Chaos Theory. You can definitely go check that episode out on our feed. It's like a two-parter. That was part 2. Part 1 is also on the feed. You can listen to that wherever your podcasts are found. But yeah, it was a great episode, and Connor and Tom really did a great job covering that, because I couldn't do it as good as they could. So I'm glad they had the chance. But definitely go check out that episode. I'm dropping stuff on my end. Oh, now my phone's making noise because I dropped stuff on it. Also, please go subscribe to my Substack, which you can actually find. I always do this every time. You can find the links all over the website, JurassicParkPodcast.com. Up top, you can join the newsletter over on the side, or you can go on any of these articles and just find it right there. My Substack, my personal one, where I do talk Jurassic. I do give my Jurassic thoughts and feelings, and also showcase some of the other things I've been on. Like, for instance, Grim Grinning Hosts, my other show. I did an episode all about HHN 33. We talked about the new announcements. We talked about Ghostbusters, Insidious, the new scare zones, my frustrations. Actually, was this was I didn't reload this, my bad. Yeah, I talked about my frustrations with the tickets and stuff. I might be talking about that in my upcoming newsletter. Yeah, here we go. There's actually 2 new episodes. One about Marvel Superhero Island. I was not on that one, but a great episode. And also go check out the one below that too. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some of the latest Jurassic topics. So, first off, I know there were some shout outs to this figure, but we are going to talk a little bit about Beyond the Gates. So let's go over to that. Where do I have like a... Yeah, let's just go. Do I have a Beyond the Gates thing? I don't know if I had that. I think I just have this. Boom. Mattel Jurassic. Need a drink. Shout out to DreamWorks for this awesome Camp Cretaceous mug. Whatever this is. Canteen. Anyway, there's a guy above me. His name is Neems. He definitely lied to me when I said, hey, are you going to be doing one of these? He definitely lied to me, straight to my face. But what are you going to do? Anyway, he was a part of the latest Creator... what is it called? I forget. Creator Edition. Where they revealed the latest from the new line. This is the brand new line, Jurassic World Legacy Collection Reimagined. Too many words. Definitely too many words. I really like... I always struggle with the naming conventions that they use for... that Mattel specifically uses for all these different toy lines. They're just so wordy. But that goes out to like theme park rides that now are like, they're just like 14 words. It's not just the Haunted Mansion anymore. It's like Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure featuring magical creatures with birds and snakes and airplanes. That kind of thing. It's just like way too many things in the title. So I feel like Jurassic World Legacy Collection Reimagined. It's a lot of words, unnecessary amount of words. It's seemingly a direct replacement for the 93 Classic Collection, which you can see right here. 93 Classic Collection. It gets the point across for Jurassic fans. I think we understand the 93 Classic. And it made a lot of sense going with the 93 Classic Collection last year during the 30th anniversary year for Jurassic. So I get that. That made a lot of sense. But at the same time, I understand why they would switch away from that and go to, a new version of it. I kind of get it. But at the same time, it's interesting because it's just the identical thing, especially with this figure right here. It's very much an identical kind of figure that would have been placed in the 93 Classic Collection, but just thrown into the Legacy Collection Reimagined. The Legacy Collection has been a weird one from the start. Let's be honest. It's kind of been a catch-all for all kinds of things because Jurassic World is the brand now, right? That is the entire, full brand. So the legacy of Jurassic World does encapsulate Jurassic Park and Lost World, JP3, all that good stuff. But it just felt like a little weird back in the day when they first started announcing things for it back in 2018. But now we're facing the reimagined version of that. Does that mean that the Legacy Collection itself disappears? Or does the Legacy Collection also stand on its own, apart from reimagined? I don't know. It's a little confusing. Honestly, I think just Jurassic World Reimagined would have worked, or I think that would have worked perfectly fine. Or just something like Jurassic World Classic Collection, I think that would have worked if they had just stuck with this naming convention because it does do the same thing so far that we've seen. With this one figure, it's doing the exact identical thing. So I think that's kind of interesting that they're changing the naming convention completely there. But, this is just for argument's sake. It really doesn't matter in the long run. I'm thinking at it from a hardcore collector standpoint of like, man, look at all these things. We've got Hammond, we've got just Jurassic World Collection, we've got Jurassic World Legacy Collection, 93 Collection, but now we've also got Reimagined Legacy Collection. We've got so much stuff, plus the Amber Collection. Was it Collection? Whatever that was. And then, I don't know, like where does core stuff sit these days? Where we put it all? I don't know. I'm slightly confused, I'll say. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this line goes because I think this is just an insane reveal for the first of this reimagined collection. I think that is absolutely incredible. So shout out to Neems for revealing this one and lying to me about actually working on this. But I'm going to call you out for that every time, Neems. Don't you worry. But we also, let's take a look. We also have this figure just on its own. We'll take a look at it. $34.99. Pretty good price point right there. I would assume. It feels like a good price point for me. Real feel Carnotaurus. Reimagined from the old Kenner days. Whoops. I just really wanted to get a glimpse at that leg. But man, this thing is super cool. Was there any pictures of the box? I forget. I think, yeah, Neems had the picture, or just not the picture, but he had the box itself. I think it was in here. Yeah, there we go. Where is it? Where's the full box? All right, so very much the Legacy Collection look. It's definitely giving that Legacy Collection vibe with that like reddish orange logo and just the T-Rex head. But then we got a little change with the green and red and yellow, whatever, you know, the Explorer vibe that we've got going on. So that's nice with the reimagined logo right there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I think with the way this box feels set up, it does almost feel like we could just bounce back and forth between Jurassic World Legacy Collection and reimagined. So I think that's possible. The box is nice. It's fine. The 93 Classic Collection, especially the boxes, just blow this out of the water. The box art and everything, it's great. It's fantastic. Like, it's so cool. And I guess I understand why they wouldn't continue doing that box art, because it is very much a Kenner thing. But at this day and age, we're just remaking Kenner toys. So why not continue with that box? That's kind of strange to me, is they changed it for such an iconic thing. Imagine getting this in like classic box. Would have been super awesome. Something like this, because here's the original. jptoys.com. You can see it right there, the Demon Carnotaurus. Let's look at the front here. Yeah, removable wound, giant attack size with capture gear. It's got that real feel. It's got attacking jaws. But that box art is something like straight out of what we've been getting, basically. Yeah, hold on a second. I'll go grab the most recent one, which I have not opened yet. But we do have this one that just came out, the other day, and it's fantastic. Like, this is incredible. I love this box. I don't ever want to open it, but I do. I want to open this ASAP when I get the chance. I have too many toys sitting there waiting for me to open. But this is the box art, man. This is great. It's capturing the old Kenner days. This is what a Jurassic fan is hoping for, and only wants, really, truly. So that's what we want. So but I get, at the same time, I get like them switching away from that. See how it resembles this one so well. It would have been fantastic to get that box art with this new Demon Carnotaurus figure. And I know they don't say Demon Carnotaurus in the new one, but I'm going to keep calling it that forever, just so you know. So just who cares? That's what I'm going to be doing. But just think of how cool that would have looked in that box. But it does have, an okay box for what I think it is. I do like that they do have the Explorer vibe on there. That's pretty cool. I don't know if he showcased
Legacy
the
Reimagined
back
line,
or anything,
which brings together all of your favorite aspects of Mattel's past line.
I don't know. But yeah, it's really cool. You can see the headbands and
collectors
stuff.
will remember instantly.
That's very cool. Ooh, it's got some nice sound effects. But yeah, anyway, I'm in love with this figure. I think it's a fantastic figure. At the same time, I understand that a lot of people are not totally on board with it. I texted a good friend and said, yo, go get this right now, ASAP. It's out. And it was met with a kind of like a, oh, no thanks. I'm not going to get that. I'm passing on that one. And I was honestly shocked. I just did not expect that to be a passable item. It just said, I'm not, LOL, no, I'm not getting that. Why is this not a classic collection? I don't know. Valid questions, but I am shocked by the apparent, aversion to this figure. So that, to me, is very shocking, because I think this thing looks awesome. But yeah, I don't know what everybody's saying here in the chat. If anybody has any thoughts about this thing, let me know. Paleo Collector fell out of my chair when I saw that the Carno. Glad Neem's got to do the gig. Yeah. Jurassic World, Legacy of the Rebirth Reimagined. Too many words. Jurassic KM says, I do wish it was just Jurassic World Reimagined because I was under the impression it was a hybrid of Legacy Collection and 93 Collection. Yeah, I was not really on the nose, I think, with this reveal as far as like what this is going to be. Because in my mind, and on this show, I talked about it so much that like, oh, the Jurassic World Reimagined is going to be like, I would say more modern figures reimagined. You know, like maybe we'll get not just the Jurassic Park and Lost World days, we'll get the, you know, the Simon Mizrahi reimagined because we never got that, or Dr. Wu and Claire and characters like that. I kind of imagined like some reimagined versions of those characters. But to come right out of the gates, the Beyond the Gates, with just another classic collection, basically, figure, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, Raptor loves the figure, cool colors, real feel skin, yeah. But yeah, it's fantastic. The colors are super vivid. It's the Darth Maul of dinosaur, and yeah, it's fantastic. So I am super hyped for this. That jaw doesn't close. I do not care. I love it. But yeah, the Demon Carnotaurus returns. How cool is that? So check out a loose shot, which, you know, does come with capture gear as well. That's pretty cool. I believe this one did too, right? Did it? Does it? I forget. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't remember. But anyway, such a cool figure. And I'm excited. I pre-ordered it, and actually, we gotta notate here that this one did pop up like right away at I think 9 a.m. EST here, and we always like to take note that of a few things on the show, especially when Beyond the Gates comes out. We like to say, did the person who worked on the episode, did they actually showcase it? Neems? Of course, Neems is going to post about it. We don't have to worry about that. Neems is absolutely posting about this figure. There's no doubt about that in my mind on every account. So in previous weeks, you know, there had been a lot of just other creators that are not necessarily engaged in the Jurassic fandoms that don't care to share it for some reason. But Neems is definitely going to be sharing that. The second thing, what was I talking about? I skipped to my second part and skipped over my first part. Now I'm going back to it for part two. And, oh yeah, the time slot. They actually did post it right at that time, which has been nice because in previous weeks, it's kind of just come and go, and it'll show up maybe at night or in the afternoon or sometime. So you never know when you're able to actually pre-order it. So it's been nice to actually have the figure available at the designated time frame. But I did want to also point out here too that it does say release date November 1st. So that seems pretty far off. The last one was this truck, right? With the Rex? I believe so. And that showed up literally a day before this. I think this came yesterday, and this was announced today. So is the November date accurate? I don't remember what this one said, what the truck said. I hope it's not accurate. I hope we get it a little bit earlier than that because November is super far off. But then again, maybe they are targeting that as a pretty cool holiday item. That's definitely possible. So we'll have to wait and see, but that could be a pretty cool selling point for the holidays. But yeah, that is the Beyond the Gates figure. I am so hyped. It's awesome. It looks great. And yeah, I can't wait to have that one in the collection. But let's move on to the next piece of news, which, came out the other day. What was this? July 20th. So it's the 4th, however many, 4 days ago. The 20th here. We have the latest news on the next film. Potentially. We're going to talk about this mostly as if it is pertaining to the new film. As Tom Jurassic wrote up on JurassicParkPodcast.com, if you're not going to the website, please do so. We had this up there ASAP as soon as it was posted, basically. And July 20th, Tom wrote, the Jurassic World Rebirth looks set to be the title of Jurassic Park 7. Tom is like one of the people out there that are really just still pushing Jurassic Park 7. Love that for Tom. Glad to have you here. But Jurassic World Rebirth has been used in trademarks and stuff like that from Universal. So that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. This initially came from Josh, great friend of the podcast. He's also a member at Jurassic Outpost. He's always diving into these trademarks like no one else. And of course came across Jurassic World Rebirth as being a part. I don't know if this is a clickable thing here, Tom. No, it's not. Let's see here. There we go. But yeah, you can see them here. Jurassic World Rebirth, all these trademark registrations. Jurassic Con, still going. Oops. Get out of this ad. So Jurassic World Rebirth, as intended to cover the category, namely of clothing, shirts and tops, dresses, skirts, pants, trousers, jeans. So Halloween costumes, I like that. There's a lot of different iterations of the trademark. This trademark is intended to cover beverageware, shot glasses. So they are encompassing absolutely everything. I know I've been talking with this music way too loud. Y'all should have probably let me know earlier. But that was way louder than I usually have it. My bad. But I've been talking loud. It's been exciting. Oops, I went back too far. But let's see. Let's check out some other ones. Cover entertainment services in the nature of a film series, television series, short form entertainment content, videos, and podcasts. Hey, give me a call, Universal. I know a thing or two about doing a Jurassic podcast. You got that registration for that trademark. I can do it, you know? Hey, everybody. Welcome to Jurassic World Rebirth. I got it. See, look. Nailed it. Nailed it, everybody. Nailed it. But so it can be used for literally any of these things. It could be in the field of news, sports, comedy, drama, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know which one I clicked on last. Here's another one for categories of bags. Sports bags, athletic bags, carrying bags, baby bags, backpacks, beach bags, book bags, duffel bags, gym bags, waist bags, overnight bags, shopping bags of canvas, mesh, or textile, tote bags, purses, handbags, wallets, umbrellas. How does umbrellas fit under bags, guys? That I'm very confused about. How does umbrellas fit under bags? Diaper bags, knapsacks, change purses, coin purses. Very cool. Can't wait for that one. And let's see what else we got. Cookies, cereal, bubble gum, cake, decorations made of candy, chewing gum, frozen confections, crackers, frozen yogurt, ice cream, pretzels, peanut butter. Lots of stuff. Let's see. Oh, cookies again. As I clicked on that again. I'm going to probably keep clicking on this cookies one. Oh, here we got cover of a category of books and magazines. Party decorations. Party supplies. Paper napkins. Paper placemats. Gift wrapping paper. Paper. Gift wrapping ribbons. Paper gift wrap bows. Paper tablecloths. Paper party bags. Activity books, storybooks, comic books. Ooh. Comic books. Use it, please. Graphic novels. Yes, absolutely. Just like, I'm like, hey, I'm at Target and I got to check my grocery list. It's cookies. And I need party favors. So, yeah. Those are party things. Oops, I keep clicking the same ones. Let's see what else we got here. Put it on my grocery list. I've got fruits and vegetables. I need a lot of crystallized fruits, frozen fruits, vegetables, jams, chocolate and nut butter, cocoa butter, peanut butter, margarine. Could absolutely use a Jurassic World Rebirth preserved olive. If you don't need a preserved olive for Jurassic World Rebirth, get out of here. Leave this stream. We don't need you. Yeah. This is fun. What other kind of crazy things can we do? Categories of pre-recorded video and audio discs, DVDs, videos, audio cassettes. Let's get some audio cassettes, please. Pre-recorded CDs featuring music and entertainment of soundtracks, downloadable audio, visual, multimedia, digital field. Yeah, very cool. I probably skipped a few here and there. Bath lotions, hand lotions, shampoos, hair conditioners, non-medical liquid soaps. You know you need Jurassic World Rebirth non-medicated liquid soaps. I know I do. And most importantly, toys. We need them toys. Jurassic World Rebirth toys, games, playthings, action figures, accessories, bathtub toys, kites. There's always kites. They always got to have them kites. Building blocks, board games, action skilled games, manipulative games, target games, bubble making wand, and solutions. Lots of stuff. So, needless to say, they are going all out for Jurassic World Rebirth. I think it's pretty safe to say that this will be the title of the next film. I don't necessarily think they're going to go so hard on all of these trademarks for, an internet series. Maybe it's a podcast. But I think it's definitely going to be the title of the film. Here's Jurassic World Dominion. This was done in 2020. They've only got 4, at least here that you can see. Here's a bunch for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This was titled 9/7/2017. And we do know that film came out sometime in June, I think, of 2018. So they were trademarking that pretty early on, a bunch of months before. And look, you got a similar amount, like a bunch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a ton of them here, just like Jurassic World Rebirth. So I think it is pretty clear that it's going to be Jurassic World Rebirth for the title of this movie. And to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. It really does make a lot of sense when you think about what has been said about this movie. The things that Frank Marshall, initially talked about back, I think literally in 2020, by talking about, new eras and things like that. It seems like they've been going in the that kind of direction for a while, thinking about that new era, thinking about, which we've been hearing in a lot of the trades and things like that, like Varieties or Deadline or whatever. We've been hearing a lot about kind of like a new direction or something like that, like a fresh new look or fresh take. They've been throwing around the word reboot, stuff like that. So again, I've consistently talked about kind of getting out there and setting the record straight as far as what we're getting in terms of this new film. And Rebirth, so far in word only. That's all we have only one word to go off of. Jurassic World, we already know what that is. We know what Jurassic World is. So when I see Jurassic World Rebirth, and I know Jurassic World, right? I don't necessarily think we're going for like a reboot. I don't think we're starting over. That doesn't sound like a starting over kind of place. If you're sticking with Jurassic World, in my eyes, you're continuing the story to some extent, right? That's what it feels like to me. Now, does that mean we're going to be continuing it directly? Like continuing with Owen and Claire and Blue and all that stuff? No, it doesn't feel like we're going that direction, obviously. But to me, continuing that story of Jurassic World, where we left off with dinosaurs in the wild, all that kind of stuff, I think that is still likely because of that Jurassic World naming convention. Jurassic World Rebirth, when you add Rebirth into it, that absolutely gives you some other sense, right? It kind of throws it on its head a little bit and says, well, you know Jurassic World, you know what that's all about, but this is going to be a rebirth. So what does that mean? Like, I've tried not to really think about it too hard since this information came to light. So a lot of me just sitting here and talking about this is kind of just me working it out on my own right now in front of you, which is never great, but but to me, a rebirth does signal something new, which does, like I said, go along with what we've been hearing from Frank Marshall, from the trades and all that stuff. So I'm not surprised there about something new potentially coming our way with this series. But how deep does that rebirth go? Like, what do you all think? Do you think we're going to be getting... do you think we're going and doing things again? Do you think like that's happening again? I've seen a lot of people talking about, oh, is this just going to be us starting over again? Are we going to be doing another park? Is that going to be a thing again? With the name Rebirth, that certainly does have some sort of value, I think. Thinking about going back to something, I think it does hold some sort of weight, but I don't necessarily think that's what they're going to be doing. Now, if we, of course, I've really, you know me, I'm trying to stay away from all the junk that we see online, people sharing leaks and images and talking about story beats and plot point, or, you know, whatever the case is, so openly out in the public. I've been trying to really stay away from that stuff, and whatever set photos and what people are doing in these filming, you know, whatever's been filmed at the moment. I know of a lot of this stuff, but I'm trying to stay clear of context, I guess you could say. But we do know there was like a little synopsis that came out from Variety about, I think it was like something like 6 people. It was like, maybe it was like, was it 6 people? Was it like 3 adults and 3 kids or something, like on an island? I forget exactly what the details were, but to me that doesn't sound like a restart of a park or anything like that. Nikolai says, I don't know if I really believe they are going to be on the island the whole time. Yeah, because we did hear about the island, whatever island the island is. To a lot of us, that is Nublar. Like, if you're talking to a Jurassic fan, the island is Isla Nublar. If you don't really know, it could be any of the islands. You know, if you're not necessarily sure what island, it could be any of them. And there's so many to choose from. But yeah, I don't think so either. I feel like Gareth is really good. Gareth Edwards is really good at showcasing different locations very well. And with the things that are going to be filmed in Malta, you know, we've heard a lot about water tanks and things like that. So to me, that does signal that we're not necessarily going to be on the island the entire time. What does that pertain to? I have no idea. And how long? You know, it seems like we're going to be there in Malta for quite a while. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. As far as what do I like the title? Let's think about that for a second, because as soon as Rebirth was announced, as soon as Tom wrote this and I saw it, I wasn't like blown away or anything. I think this is a title that, like I've kind of been saying, really needs some context. To me, I really need to know where we're going with this Rebirth, to kind of get excited for it, to kind of get some sort of understanding as far as like, where could this be going? I kind of need that context. So my excitement level wasn't super high for hearing the title Jurassic World Rebirth. To me, it does sound a lot like a video game title. And I guess maybe that's due to like, there's like a Final Fantasy Rebirth or something like that. I don't care about Final Fantasy. I'm not a player of those games. I know a lot of people obviously are, but I do not play those games. So to me, that title means nothing in terms of those games, but it does have like a video gamey sound. It does sound semi-basic. It does sound like kind of just we're restarting things, and this is the best way to get people to understand that. I think that's what the title is mostly meant to do. It feels like, you know, we're signaling to everybody out there that this is Jurassic World, and we want you to know that this is Jurassic World, but it's also Rebirth. So it does mean that there's going to be a lot of new stuff that you've never seen before. This is the rebirth of something. I do wonder if that's going to signal some issue with people who are tired of the franchise, which we know, obviously, that there's a lot of people that are tired of the franchise out there. So to have a rebirth, it's like, here we go again. You know, we've heard it all before. We know that we've already gotten that. Every time a new Jurassic movie comes out, it's always another one. Are you serious? How are they going to make another one? For real? Do we really need another park that, you know, falls apart and people don't learn their lessons? Well, as we see in real life, no one learns their lessons, and they just keep doing the same stuff over and over again and failing. So yeah, they're going to keep doing that. But to me, Rebirth could signal a bit of like backlash if people are just, which they are, plainly sick of it. You know, I feel like a lot of online film online communities or Twitter or whoever, they're very jaded about the franchise. So Jurassic World Rebirth is not necessarily going to be like, all right, I'm back in. Here we go. They're going to have to do something and showcase something about this movie that hooks people in, other than just that it's called Rebirth and that people are like, oh, it's very clearly going to be something new. Because to me, that's what that title signals, is we want to show you guys that this is new. That's fine. It just doesn't speak a huge volume to me like right now. It doesn't say a lot to me right now. And it doesn't really signal where we're going. Maybe that'll be plainly obvious, and we'll look at the title and whatever the synopsis is, and we'll be like, all right, yeah, that checks out. That checks out. Rebirth. You know, I can't help but think about, it's new, right? Rebirth, we're going to be Like, is there? Let's look up. I just want to see what exactly does rebirth mean according to like Wikipedia or a dictionary or something. Like, let's Merriam-Webster's definition of rebirth: a new or second birth, a spiritual regeneration, a renaissance or a revival. Yeah, so here's some examples in a sentence. We don't need to do this, but we're going to do it. The natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth in plants. A renewed interest in long-playing records led to the rebirth of the turntable among audiophiles. I've got my turntable just over there. There is a rebirth right here in this office. So, rebirth. Let's talk about rebirth, because that first sentence that I read makes me think. It honestly does make me think. So, if rebirth is a natural cycle, or this is just a sentence, sorry, it's not a definition, but in a sentence, the natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This sentence says in plants, but what if we talk about islands? You know, what if we're talking about Isla Nublar? You know, the island that they very unceremoniously mentioned in some article or something. The natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth on Isla Nublar. That could be interesting. If we do, you know, because we know we're going back to an island. If we are going back to Nublar, right now, as far as Jurassic World is concerned, forget about Rebirth, forget about anything else. Where we are right now at the end of Jurassic World Dominion, we did get, you know, a little refresh, Jurassic World refresh as far as what happened with Nublar and the volcano and stuff like that in Jurassic World Dominion. So we did get to see a little bit about that. And we saw it straight up that the island was covered in, you know, lava and whatever else, hot ash and magma. I don't know, like all that stuff, all that volcano stuff, you know, volcanoes, you know, they blow up and then they you know, hot stuff comes out of there, covers the place, and it's dead, you know? So the natural cycle, the birth of Isla Nublar, we could say, you know, that can go back very far. Oof. I don't want to go too far down this road, but like it's, you know, they bring Gareth Edwards in, okay? Gareth Edwards revived, we'll say, the Godzilla franchise here in the States with 2014's Godzilla. A very straightforward, you know, Godzilla movie pretty much. But then you look at like Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Mostly set underground in the interior of the earth, right? I guess that's where it is. I wonder if there's anything to that. I don't know why. I just started thinking about like, what if Nublar holds secrets underneath? You know, what if, because like when we think about the novels and we think about what are some things we want to see from the novels? One of those things is like the velociraptors like in a cave. What if that cave like leads to an interior or something? Would it be weird to bring in Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla, and also do an interior of the planet kind of thing, which is a very dinosaur story. If you ever see a movie that goes into the earth, there's always dinosaurs. There's always dinosaurs still in there. Now, most of the time they're like long lost, and like it wasn't like John Hammond made them and put them underground. It was like those are the original dinosaurs, the ones that didn't die off from extinction from a meteor. Is that a possibility that real dinosaurs they were birthed and then they died and then they were reborn. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to think about if the Jurassic movies would go that direction with like real dinosaurs. You know, that would be very strange. If we cut that off and don't talk about that, but we'll just go, you know, the rebirth of Nublar, like I was saying before, that we just talk about. It didn't die. You know, it didn't fully die. We thought it died. We thought it was done, but there is a rebirth on the island, and there's more dinosaurs. They're flourishing. You know, like one of the ongoing stories of Jurassic is that when, you know, you let life find a way. You just let life do its thing, and it will flourish. So I think that's possible. I think there's a lot of rebirth. You know, the natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth for potentially Isla Nublar. I think that is a very big possibility. Let's see what people are saying here in the chat. Jurassic KM says, I think it's going to be a movie set within the world of the original films, but not have any other connective tissue. If it was going to be an outright remake, they would just call it Jurassic Park. Yeah, I agree. And I think at this day and age, like, a remake, if you're going to do a remake, it has to go like to HBO or something, and it has to be, you know, like what they're doing with the Harry Potter franchise, how they're just going to redo it from scratch. That's the only way I really want a Jurassic Park remake. So I think remake should be off the table for this. But a world set within the original films, to me, calling it Jurassic World Rebirth would be like super weird to have it just set within the original films. Like, this should be Jurassic World reimagined, like, or something like that. If you want it to be like set within the original films or something, I don't know. Jurassic World Legacy reimagined. It sounds familiar, but to me, it just feels weird. Like, to be set only within the original films. That's why I feel like Jurassic World does need to be involved in to some extent. Jurassic Raptor says, I've been thinking that too, Jurassic came. I'm all for it. Opens up the world to have more stories to take place within the continuity of existing films while not necessarily being direct sequels. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's just set within the original timeline. That's what I was saying before, that I don't think it should be, I don't think it's going to be connected to what happened directly with the Owens and Claires and the Jurassic World, you know, ongoing story. But I think the overall story of dinosaurs being out in the wild and the volcano going off in the park and all that stuff, I think that is still a very active part of the history. That's what I would assume. That's what I would hope, at least. Mozamil says, it kind of feels like they want to make this as much an isolated story while loosely acknowledging the world trilogy. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. I really do wonder how much they will acknowledge. I mean, if you're going to do some sort of rebirth or a restart of sorts, the world exists. It's out there, but you don't necessarily need to acknowledge the direct story beats, you know, like kind of like what happened with The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. They exist. They're all part of the story, but we don't need to really, you know, cover them again. We don't need to be like, you remember that time when Alan Grant got lost on that island for the second time? No. On the island? You remember he got lost? See, that's the thing. They made that mistake in the movie. I talk about people making that mistake in real life, but they made that, like, somebody made that mistake in the movie. They said, like, oh, wouldn't you get a chance to go back on the island? And it was like, no, I wasn't on that island. That was a different, or whatever was said, you know? I forget the line. Paleo Collector says the cloning of extinct mammals. Okay, maybe. Yeah, Jurassic Raptor. If there's one thing these movies have taught us, is that life finds a way. Volcanoes or not, maybe on Nublar something. You're just trying to tie it all in. Something has survived. I'm simply saying that life finds a way. Jason says, Gareth did kickstart Godzilla 2014. Yep. but he had nothing to do with he had nothing to do with the franchise's trajectory. Yeah, that's absolutely for sure. I wasn't trying to say that. But yeah, they have gone in a completely different direction. I love the direction. Like I'm very into it and having a great time with the direction of the MonsterVerse movies, but there's a bit of silliness that's been invoked since Godzilla vs. Kong, I think. I think that's when it really started to become something a little sillier. I think there's a lot of darkness still in King of the Monsters. I think that might be my favorite one still. But it got real silly. And I think it's okay. I'm totally for it because it's fun. I like watching a Kong whip another Kong around. But I don't necessarily see the trajectory that I'm talking about. I didn't necessarily mean that Jurassic's going to be this big MonsterVerse style thing. It was more so like a loosely like a darker iteration of that, like kind of doing the Jurassic version of dinosaurs in the interior or something like that, like a Lost World, like literally a Lost World. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, I got the quote wrong. I'm simply saying that water finds a way. Oh, okay. You meant, all right. So you meant JP to Dominion. All right, cool. As a contingency plan, they found a cave to preserve eggs on Nublar in the event of an eruption. Honestly, like, that wouldn't be unheard of. I feel like oh my gosh, I don't know. Is there like see, this is the thing is like Universal, give me a call because like I got these ideas just literally flow in so quickly and I've got never ending amounts of stories to talk about. For instance, I don't know if this is the case, but let's just say that like this doesn't even need to be a part of it. But I was thinking about what Muzzlemil said here as a contingency plan. I came up with a massive like story as far as how do we get to that moment where they found a cave that preserved eggs in the event of an eruption. Imagine that was the case, right? But it wasn't something that Mizrani or the Jurassic World folk knew about. It was just a Hammond contingency. Oh man, that's a sick movie quote or movie title. Jurassic World, the Hammond contingency. Oh my god, like that's pretty sick, dude. Like I want that to be the movie. Forget about Rebirth. Rebirth stinks. I want Jurassic World, the Hammond contingency. I think that's it. That's the title. That should be the title. The Hammond contingency. Which is like Hammond surveyed it back in the day and he knew about this volcano and he knew that the something he thought, well, one day if the island does the top does blow on the volcano, I will need a contingency plan for my species here on Nublar. And he finds a cave that would be safe from volcano fire and ash and lava, and he stores something in there that could bring back the island. I don't know what for, but that would be so sick if like they're going through like old field notes and guides and paperwork. Like I could definitely see this happening, and this is where my mind jumped to Scarlett Johansson. And I don't necessarily want this to be the case because Ariana Richards, I think, should be the person for this. But like, if let's just say, for instance, Scarlett Johansson is Lex Murphy. Like, let's just say that that's who she's playing, and that the title or the character name that we've seen out there before for Scarlett Johansson is not accurate. let's just say that's a misdirection because it sounds fake to me. Let's just say she's Lex Murphy and she's going through her grandfather's estate and she eventually finds the Hammond contingency. And yeah, it could be some underground bunker, from Chaos Theory, whatever the show is, Camp Cretaceous. But yeah, that could be interesting. It could be the Hammond contingency could be the alternative to what Jurassic World showed us, right? Jurassic World showed us, that doesn't sound right, that sentence. Jurassic World showed us time and time again, through Jurassic World and all the way through Dominion and all that, and the TV series and stuff like that, you didn't want something that was real. You wanted something with more teeth. You wanted something that, was bigger, scarier, something like that. So Jurassic World was all about making progress on these dinosaurs in a way where you make them scarier, you make them what you imagine you want your dinosaurs to be. And nothing in Jurassic World is real, or whatever he says, But what if the Hammond contingency is the real dinosaurs that Dr. Wu, created? What if, back before all of this, before they had the intent to create dinosaurs with mass appeal, they created a Spinosaurus that was just bigger, stronger, with more teeth, scarier. But the contingency was, well, if this doesn't work, we must have the contingency for the real thing. This is the worst John Hammond impression you've ever heard. But I think that could be interesting. That could be kind of interesting if the contingency is real dinosaurs. Like the Spino, yeah, Steve, for real. Like the rebirth of the Spino. Like to give us the belly dragon Spinosaurus, which I don't necessarily want. I want, the original Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, but hey, what are you gonna do? They did that with Brooklyn for Chaos Theory, didn't they? Did what? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I keep playing with this, what do you call this thing? And it keeps busting. Replace. TacMax says, could Scarlett Johansson's character be related to Robert Muldoon and possibly have a hatred toward dinosaurs for what they did to her father? I mean, yeah, I think that's possible. I don't necessarily think, if we're going to be doing something new and all that, I don't necessarily, I don't believe for real that Scarlett is going to be Lex Murphy. It's all pipe dream kind of stuff. I think she could be Brooklyn. She could be Lex. She could be whatever her name was. I forget what it was that the casting or whatever has talked about. So it could be not really. She could be not related to anybody. If she was related to another character, I don't think that that to me is not super interesting to have her related to another side character that, I don't know. I mean, that's fine and all, but I don't know that I need I don't know if I need that personally from Jurassic. Maybe it would be a cool story for a lot of you out there, but to me, having just a side character come in, I want the main thorough of Jurassic to be continued. I don't necessarily need to branch off with character of a character's friend that was connected to this person. I kind of like if, we continue with the characters that we've known, they've grown up, whatever the case is. I kind of like that, but who knows? But yeah, if the casting, was the misdirection, I'm so sorry because I've ruined it for everybody here. And this video will get taken down, I'm sure. But yeah, I've thought for a while that she could be Brooklyn. I think that would be pretty awesome. Like, because we know, like, she's had colorful hair before and things. Like, you could get Scarlett to play Brooklyn. I think that would be pretty sick. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. I think she's just going to be unrelated mostly. I think that's probably where we're going to go with it. But man, I want the Hammond contingency. That sounds so awesome to me right now. The Hammond contingency sounds like legit. I'm like super hyped right now. I want that to be the case. Give us the seal, boy, Spina. Dresser Raptor says, Engine invents time travel and they go back to the Cretaceous and bring back real dinosaurs. Yeah. Look, I just watched Endgame, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's possible. Right? They could do that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like that's why I said, like, I'm okay with her being like a descendant of the main through line of Jurassic, which is John Hammond. I wouldn't necessarily think that Muldoon is a very iconic character to all of us, obviously. Like, he's a great character. Don't get me wrong. But in the grand scheme of things, he's such a minuscule part of this franchise, John Hammond, on the other hand, is one of the main figures, the figureheads, even though he was gone. And he was always spoken about through the third film, even though they took it out, I think. But yeah. But I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would maybe face a lot of backlash with the fan base. Do you think that would be like backlash heavy if like Scarlett was Lex? I think it's plausible just because, like, the last we saw her was in The Lost World, and she was, I don't know, what, 15 or something like that, I don't know how old she was in that movie. But there's a good chance she could turn into Scarlett Johansson by that point. In the current timeline of the films, Jurassic World Dominion era. But yeah, I don't know. But that doesn't. We know that there's other plot points developing around this movie. But I don't know what's up with her character. But I think that would be a fun way to take it and to center a character, like a main character, around somebody with history would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep on that because I don't think that'll ever happen. But man, that's just such a fun idea. Rebirth is definitely post-Dominion. Didn't see if that was confirmed or not, or if still a possibility for a prequel. No, I mean, it's not definitely post-Dominion. I personally just don't think you would use the Jurassic World title to go. I mean, I guess you would. I guess you could. I just don't think it's a prequel. I think it's going to be Jurassic World, like, era. That's what I think. I think they've invested too much into this era to go back right now. I hope they do one day, though. I really hope they do go back, because that's really what we all want to see. We all want to see. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I guess she's retired, but there's always money. Did I ever hear her talk about that? Yeah, I mean, like, absolutely. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, I would much rather have the original person there. Ariana Richards, Vanessa Lee Chester. Like, I would love to have them continue with their characters. That's what I would love to see. But in particular, like, I was watching Endgame just today. And, you know, in Endgame, they have an actress for Cassie Lang, who's Scott Lang, Ant-Man's daughter. And I don't know much about her as an actress, but what she pulled off in Endgame was great. I think she was fantastic. It was so great to see her at that age, you know, aged up 5 years, and you know, it worked really well. But then to have them swap her out for Catherine Newton, I think, who played his daughter in Ant-Man, Quantumania, whatever that one, just a terrible movie. And to me, like, that's such a cheap move, just because they don't want to center a movie around somebody who is not necessarily like a bigger actress, I guess. You know, I don't know much about her career or anything, but, you know, I guess she's not necessarily Catherine Newton name, right? Like, so I can understand the studio's, you know, reasoning for wanting like somebody with a bigger name to play a part. Like, it makes sense, but like, personally, I don't like seeing that happen. So I could absolutely see that happen with, you know, any of the kids from the original movies. Now, would you do that though for like Tim Murphy? Because like Joseph Mazzello is still out there acting. Like, you know, he's also still out there. Vanessa Lee Chester, I don't know, I haven't paid attention to if she's been in anything recently, but like, you know, he's out there, I know, you know, still acting. So would you replace him? He's not a huge name. He's not like, you know, he's in things. He's certainly in some big movies here and there, but he's not like a huge household name. But I don't know. Yeah, you gotta get back. I mean, the MCU for me is top of the line. Like, I love it still. I love it still so much. Even the new stuff, which, you know, has been hit or miss here and there, I still love it so much. And I watched Infinity War and Endgame 2 days back to back. It's just incredible. So yeah, and going to see Deadpool tomorrow, very hyped about that. Yeah, but she was recast. And yeah, you definitely need a Mr. DNA cameo. I'm waiting for the call, Universal. I'm right here. If you need your Mr. DNA cameo, like if somebody wants to go into the Hammond contingency, and there's just like some old computer that they hit, and it goes like, and like a bunch of like green screen comes on, and it's just like, you know, you see the blinking of the cursor, and it's just like an old school like 8-bit DNA. Mr. DNA is like, howdy, you know, dude, that's me. I could do it. I'm here. All right, please. Please. It's certainly more acceptable in this case because of the time gap, for sure. Like, and for instance, if, you know, somebody doesn't want to come back, you know, that's definitely a possibility. If like an actress or actor does not want to come back to their role, recast or whatever, you know, if there's some sort of issue, recast. It makes sense. But if they want to come back, let them come back, please. That would be best, please. What reminds you of Winter Soldier with Scarlet? What does that remind you of? I'm not sure. Megan says, we know Tobin Bell is going to be the villain, right? I mean, how could you have Jigsaw in the film and not make him the bad guy? I mean, do we know? Has it been officially like confirmed in any capacity? Have people seen him on set or anything like that? I haven't paid attention enough to the set photos and things like that. So I don't know if he's on set. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But that call sheet that was leaked out a few months ago or whatever that was, I haven't seen anything about any of those people being actually involved in the movie. So maybe he is. I did hear from a friend that Tobin Bell had to cancel one of his appearances in some sort of convention. So did he cancel his convention to film Jurassic right now? Maybe he did. Oh, 8-bit. Yeah. Sorry. That's right. Yeah, I got confused with the Scarlet and all of that. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, like and Miss Minutes. I was rewatching some Loki today and yesterday. It's just so funny that Miss Minutes is just Mr. DNA. But yeah, I love that. There's so many great comparisons to all these other films that we've talked about tonight with Godzilla's and MCU stuff. And yeah, Tobin Bell is just a rumor at this point. That's what I thought as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I thought for sure with this trademark stuff coming. Actually, you know what? What was the date on that trademark stuff? All right, so 7/19. Trademarks were filed on 7/19. I want to go back here for a minute. Fallen Kingdom. 9/7. 9/7. So that September 7th, they filed these trademarks for Fallen Kingdom. I believe, did I write? I think I might have written about it in my recent Substack. Let me go over here real quick. I bring this back up. I think I wrote about it here. Let's get rid of this. In 1 year, life finds a way. So yeah, we had the sequel was announced April 2016, and then June 22nd, 2017. So they announced Fallen Kingdom in June. But with that doesn't check out timeline-wise, does it? That is 9 September, right? That's what we're not going like UK's. No, 7. Yeah, 7 is first number there. So this would be September 17. Wait. Let's see. Oh, I guess that is the start of it. So 9/11. I don't know. Did they trademark this after they... After they announced it? Is that possible? I'm just trying to see if there was any correlation to the timing of anything, but it doesn't seem like it. If this was legitimately September 2017, and they... maybe this... Yeah, I mean, I think that was the title. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's title was revealed in 2017, 1 year prior to the release. So yeah, 1 year prior to the release in June. So I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm trying to find any kind of correlation to see what they're thinking about when they're going to announce this stuff. But I have no idea. I don't know. When are they going to announce any of this stuff? Scarlet was just a rumor to begin with. Not really. Scarlet was part of the official trade releases, which I guess, could still be considered a rumor. But when websites like Deadline, Variety, or whatever start posting about people are in talks, like Scarlett's in talks, like David Leitch was in talks, which was true, and Gareth Edwards is in talks. Those are legit. Like we can bank on those being real. But when it comes from some website or IMDb or some random place, we don't necessarily want to take those as fact, which I don't know if I have an article or anything, but like all of those characters, Tobin Bell, Joel McHale, people like that, whoever else was on that list, those all came from like some random website that I'm not, we cannot validate as, a official trade of the industry. So that's why it wasn't like the same kind of rumor as Scarlet. The Hammond. Oh, what if the Hammond contingency, is one day this little experiment of mine might go awry, and we'll need a place to cryogenically freeze the select amount of humans that I've specifically chose the bloodlines. And once the Hammond contingency is enacted, these families will fly all the way to Isla Nublar to be put into the caves of Nublar and stay there for centuries, maybe more, cryogenically frozen for time. That could definitely be a possibility. And then once the dinosaurs die off again, then the humans can come out. But there's like a few people that maybe like Lex, like her like cryogenically frozen body, like the stuff stopped working and she woke up too early, and there's still some dinosaurs out there, and the world is, a complete bomb of a place. But that could be possible. Wasn't it a month after Jurassic World that they announced Fallen Kingdom before they announced the title? No, they did. Yes, they did announce that right here. Somewhere, I did have a picture of it at one point. A sequel to Jurassic World was announced shortly after hitting theaters in 2015. A sequel was announced. I'm talking specifically about the title Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's why I wanted to see, like, when was that title spoken out into the world? As far as like, when can we expect to see Jurassic World Rebirth spoken out legitimately into the world? But yeah, so the timing just doesn't really match up there. I'm not really sure why it was a little off. What's also interesting is like the timing of this is very interesting. And we just learned today that like Superman is almost wrapped. That movie comes out a week after Jurassic World Rebirth, whatever we want to call it. Comes out a week after that movie. So yeah, this is all very strange timing. Very strange. Scarlet's official. We know Scarlet's official. That's for sure. But yeah, I do just want caves. I don't think we're going to get a title at Comic-Con. I don't believe Universal is there. They usually aren't. I'll double check. But I don't think they're going to be there. Universal's notoriously bad at like bringing anything to San Diego Comic-Con, so I wouldn't expect anything there. I thought with the release of the trademarks going out into the world, everybody's going to know about it. I thought for sure, which is still possible. It's only Wednesday. When does Comic-Con start officially? Like, when do we, like, 25th to the 28th. Preview night is tonight, is it tonight? Yeah, it's previews tonight. So it officially starts like tomorrow. But as far as panels, I don't really know. It's not really like a easy website to quickly see like, hey, what's happening? Like, for instance, I thought for sure that them putting Rebirth out into the world with the trademarks meant that we would be getting an announcement of this before Comic-Con. Because I don't know, I don't think you want to get lost in the hype of Comic-Con, especially with Marvel going to be a very big part of Comic-Con in the coming days. I forget I'm trying to figure out when the events are happening. But like, you don't want to like get behind like a Marvel announcement, and then everybody's going to be talking about Marvel and whatever else, and not necessarily about Jurassic. So I think it would have been smart to maybe tomorrow we'll get out there at the start of Comic-Con and just like not be involved with Comic-Con, but just make their own announcement. I was hoping for it like early this week so that they could get out ahead of it, not get hidden by all the announcements this week. But if they come out later, I don't know, or during this weekend, maybe it'll just have to be like next week sometime. Who knows? It's just crazy that we're still not getting anything. Yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to be crashing the panel for Chaos Theory. Like, trying to find any kind of schedule on their website was like impossible. I see like this whole thing here, but I can't get a good grasp. Our Hall H stuff. Let's see. It's Thursday. Hall H has Paramount, Hasbro, Transformers 1, Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants 25 years, Percy Jackson, What We Do in the Shadows. So nothing crazy. Marvel is on Friday. No, I'm sorry. Thursday is Marvel. Marvel Studios, the ultimate Deadpool and Wolverine celebration of life. So, yeah, that'll be big, I'm sure. Still Thursday. What the hell time is this? All right, so Friday we've got The Boys, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Doctor Who, yeah, Walking Dead, okay. Alien on Friday. Saturday, we've got Superman and Lois. I don't know what that is. Star Trek Universe. Marvel Studios is on Saturday at like 6:15 maybe. On Saturday at 6:15. So that's going to be like 9 o'clock at night here. Yeah. Nothing Sunday. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get, if anything. I would feel like you'd have to be tomorrow if you want anything around Comic-Con timeline. If not, just wait until next week, I guess. It's just crazy, though, that we still haven't gotten anything yet. It's wild. Wild to me. But yeah, it would be interesting if they do say anything about when the first wave of film-related toys will come. But, you say that they'll be coming out in April and May, but that's assuming that Mattel knew anything about this movie at an appropriate time to have toys come out in April or May. I don't know that they did. If they can't give you that Mr. DNA cameo in the movie, maybe they can give it to you in one of the upcoming seasons of Chaos Theory. Everybody, please spam DreamWorks and let them know. They stole my identity, DreamWorks. Scott Kramer, I'm looking at you. You stole my identity by casting me, or my likeness as a robot. Okay? You wanted me to be a robot. But I'm right here for Mr. DNA. I'm right here. Yeah. No, but I don't think the title is going to be part of Comic-Con. It could come tomorrow or Friday, right? But that would just be their own thing, which is possible, I guess. They try to pick up on the flair of Comic-Con, but who knows? But yeah. Anyway, Jurassic World Rebirth. Interesting. Again, it's just a title I need to wait and see and kind of get an idea as far as like, what is this movie about? But if it's not about John Hammond's contingency about storing humans underneath Isla Nublar in the event that dinosaurs take over the world, I'm out. I don't care anymore. Podcast over. I'm done. Like I don't need to do this. But man, this has been fun. It's been fun. A nice long live stream. I was not here last week, so I was itching to talk Jurassic. I didn't put out an episode this week. I don't know. Do I have one for next week? I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking a little break. Who knows? Because that was the original intention of coming back. What was it? Last October or so? I forget. But yeah, we'll be here on the live streams as always. But man, it's been fun. It's been fun. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Again, I want to shout out to Jurassic Souls. We didn't really talk about this, but which Kenner Jurassic figure from JP or The Lost World would you like to see get updated? Let's go over to Jurassic Park toys real quick. I just want to see what would I like to see updated? I mean, obviously, like big stuff like the RV would be super cool. We got Alan Grand. We need an Ellie. We definitely need an Ellie Sattler. We got this Dennis Nedry, right? And there is what's his name? Ray Arnold that we just got. I would love to see like the Harpoon Harrisons and stuff like that. Jaws Jacksons come back in some way. I think that would be pretty awesome. But I feel like we're talking about like dinosaurs and things like that. So I think in terms of dinosaurs, I would absolutely love to see the bull T-Rex and the Cyclops Raptor. I think the Cyclops Raptor definitely needs to make a comeback here. And the where is it? The bull T-Rex here. Bull T-Rex, absolutely. But it just feels weird. Like, why do this Jurassic World Legacy collection reimagined and then still only do the classic stuff? Like, I do also want to see like new stuff. I want to see what Owen would look like. I know we've got 1,000 Owens, but like I would like to see what Owen would look like in a classic style. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to see though the Legacy collection continue on its own though, in a way to give us Jurassic World figures like Simon, like Dr. Wu, like White Outfit Claire. Like I need to see those things. So hopefully we get that kind of stuff. But as far as like what kind of classic figures, that's definitely what I would like to see in this updated form. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I didn't really touch on it before, but there is another one coming next month. As you can see here, another reimagined collection. I have an inkling as far as who is doing that one. I feel like I know who is doing that video. We'll see. I'm not going to confirm it here. I'm not going to say who I think it is. I don't want to put that person on the spot. But I feel like I know who it is. And just know that I know it's you. I know it's you. I know. Yep, I know. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but any guess would be, I don't know. I'd have to completely refigure my entire thought process as far as what do I think this reimagined line is. But yeah. it has been a very fun stream tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Again, please go to JurassicParkPodcast.com and check out our latest episode, which was from last week, the Dino DNA, talking about the Chaos Series new species, Suchomimus and Pachyrhinosaurus. That's out there. Also, please check out Tom Jurassic's article, which talked about Rebirth being the title of the new film. Go check out that article. Please go check my Substack out, where you can get me talking about releases and Star Wars, and you get to see all the things that I've been a part of recently, and all the other shows and things. And so, yeah, for instance, Grim Grinning Hosts, like I said, we have a Marvel episode out. I did not go on that one. That was just Hunter and Gary, but I was on a recent episode talking about HHN and the freaking Fear passes being sold out, all kinds of garbage moves like that. We talked about Ghostbusters and fun stuff there. I've been on the Forcecast a bunch recently, talking about the Acolyte. We do have to schedule the final 2 episodes. We've been trying to schedule those, but we haven't been able to get them nailed down. But go check me out on the Forcecast, talking about the Acolyte, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think, so far. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. As always, please go to where do I have these things? Like I said, my Substack. Go subscribe to my Substack. Also go to Threads. We're on Threads. Go follow us there. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, good places like that. Follow the podcast itself, which is different from these live stream formats. You can go find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music. That's the same thing. Forget that. I said that. Amazon Music, I meant to say. Audible, places all over the place. I listen to podcasts on the Overture. Wait, what's it called? I completely blanked. Overcast, my bad. It just had an update today, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. But yeah, and you can check me out on Letterboxd. I'm like writing reviews for all kinds of movies that I watch. I'll have my Deadpool review up tomorrow. Can't wait for that. But yeah, this has been fun. We'll be here back again next week. Maybe there'll be an episode on the podcast feed. Maybe not. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. This has been fun. As always, stay safe, stay Jurassic. And, of course, where's the end button? Enjoy.